Hey, we're over there.
Hi guys, welcome back to Mel Shel Talks and Tings.
We talking about Tings.
I'm Mel.
I'm Shel.
I guess we're getting in the groove now. And this is episode 11. We're going to be talking about black love.
Because it's black and we're black.
Love.
And we love each other.
It's actually so fun to just do that with your partner. Just
Do what?
Yeah. As opposed to giving them regular kisses.
Yeah.
Well, phone, I think you need to my urgent package from DHL.
Oh, yeah? Did it arrive?
No.
Oh, no.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, my goodness. What are you going to do?
All right. So my phone is now on silent.
Wonderful.
So sorry.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into
love.
it. Yeah, today we're talking about black love.
Because it's still February.
Yes. This is great timing.
Yeah.
All right. So for our Insights on Relationships portion of today's show, it is brought to you by...
Before we start, how was your day?
How was yours?
How was mine? Mine was good. It is February 24th?
Don't
3rd?
say that. 21st.
21st.
I have to order something by the 24th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's February 21st. It was like 9-10 degrees outside. It was beautiful. The sun was shining. Didn't have to wear a jacket if I didn't feel like it. It was beautiful. I had a good day. Got some work done. Sought out some opportunities. Big pause. Yes, sought out some opportunities.
We're going to need to talk.
For what? Sought out some opportunities.
What are you really doing with your day, Sheldon?
Working. Putting food on the table.
Oh, that sounds like a cheater to me.
Doing what I got to do for this family. Okay?
Yeah, Tyler Perry movie.
That's bad. Anyways, day was good. Work was decent, and got through it. Made it back home. Saw my daughter. It's always a fun episode.
Mm-hmm.
Her just running at me like
just aggression.
Yeah, it's amazing. She runs so fast. It's amazing.
She's a child, a toddler.
She's my child.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not a runner or a track star anymore, sir.
But I'm clearly past it down.
Anyway, sure.
How was your day?
My day was cool. It was interesting.
Every time.
We have a wolf that lives here that hates doing podcasts.
Every time.
But
she just hears us talking. She's like, I gotta get out of here.
I need to go outside.
It's worse.
Yeah, so
how was your day?
My day was cool.
Okay.
I was able... Is she serious?
Is the people upstairs serious?
She gets louder when we talk.
She's like, I hear you ignoring me.
I'm just going to close the door then.
Yeah. She can start crying.
Okay, so back to my point. My day was okay. It was productive in certain aspects.
Okay.
Actually, no, it was productive. I was able to cook. I readied about 30 posts for my Instagram.
Okay.
I just need to finish the captions and some of the reels.
Nice.
But other than that, I feel like, I'm happy with how that went.
Wonderful.
But I also feel like a bit of tiredness though. So I feel like even though I am sleeping, I don't know, maybe I'm still recovering from the news. Yeah. So I feel like
your energy was drained.
My energy, has taken a dip. And, I just gotta take everything one day at a time.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Acknowledge and move on.
There you go. What else can you do?
Nothing. So
Nothing. All right.
All right.
So what insights do you have for us today?
Okay, so the insights, I don't know if they're really insightful, but they are kind of.
Okay.
Anyways, so since we're talking about black love, I thought it would be important to discuss a topic that is really really interesting when it comes to the Black community, which is the fact that Black people are less likely to get married than other races. Now, we're not talking about this to compare ourselves to other races, but it is to understand maybe some of the things that are happening within the Black community that could be impacting this, because marriage is still used as a marker of a successful society, I feel like, and also has some other implications as to how that culture or group is performing.
That's true. I'm wondering if that's just like a change, because you said it was a marker of success in a society. I wonder if that marker, that goalpost, is now changing because people are having kids later.
Yeah.
They're so may not feel the pressure to get married right away.
That's true.
Also, they're moving away from more religious focused beliefs, systems that would trap them into getting married.
Yeah.
Before having kids or before doing anything
that is
else.
One of the things I was thinking about.
All right.
Yep. All right. That's taken care of.
Yep.
Sorry. You're saying.
So this shift in the other factors of life or within our society may be causing this also a shift within marriages.
I do think it's a bunch of things working at once. And some other things to note. We are also most likely to divorce.
Fair.
However, Black women tend to have higher education than their partners.
So it's women's fault.
And Black women, I think generally in most marriages, compared to other races, have a higher education.
Okay.
Than the men. And then Black men are also more likely to be incarcerated more than any other race. Okay. And they actually mapped it out on a chart. There's a page called blackdemographics.com. Really useful, very resourceful.
Well, Black facts.
Yeah, literally. Like utilizing like proper data and statistics and stuff. But when the war on drugs happened, and these stats are based on the States, because unfortunately in Canada, we do not collect race-based data because
Canadians aren't racist.
Yeah.
There is no racism in Canada.
That's what they want us to believe, so they're not collecting race-based data. I mean, if we aren't racist, then it shouldn't be a problem to collect race-based data.
You'd think.
Anyways, so when the war on drugs started, the war on drugs, incarceration rates went up, as well as the rate of Black men who were single past 35 or something. So, and previously that was actually lower than white people, and it went up after the incarceration. So, there's many factors contributing. I think the education piece, it sucks because it's like, so what, we're just supposed to dumb ourselves down so that...
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean? So that we can get married.
I heard a video today. They were talking about how from very young, Black students and mostly like Black boys are seen as like either the troublemakers or the ones who are going to cause problems or whatever.
Absolutely.
And from a very early age, they are like set apart.
Yes.
And negatively focused on, sent to the front of the room. And like the whole idea of education has like a negative connotation from when they're very young.
100%.
So this is like instilled in them from young that, education, something like bad type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think in that regard, that's why they kind of don't pursue higher education. They pursue other things. They do other things because it's always had this like negative feeling. They may not even understand it as they get older, but it's something that's just been instilled with them when they were very young. This
is a fact.
So,
not just from my experience working in the school board, but it's been shown and it's been proven that that's a part of the whole like school to jail pipeline thing.
Right.
There's that aspect of it, but there's also just your inherent bias that people carry towards Black men, particularly when it comes to being in an institution. How we treat Black boys is so much different than everybody else.
Yeah.
And so to me, it makes sense why they don't have a higher education, or they're not necessarily pursuing things that require higher education. Because if you don't feel wanted, you're not going to want to stay there.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to be like, oh, well, you have to push past it. But it's also like, there's so many things going on. Like you can't just push past that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I think there's education, which is a factor.
Yeah, well, that's one of the factors why, you know, many women, black women,
Yeah.
have higher education or strive towards higher education.
And realistically, that's going to put a certain strain on a relationship if
Yeah.
you feel like you can't get past this threshold of income.
Yeah.
And
I think there's so many factors. It's like also the, you know, the single mother syndrome. So you've seen you had to be raised by a single mom or something. So you as a even as a woman is like, oh no, I'm gonna make sure I'm put myself in a better position than even my mom was in.
Mm-hmm.
So you go out and you seek higher education. You could do those things so you can actually better yourself.
True.
Or prepare yourself. Like you might have this weird way of thinking where you have to prepare yourself to take care of things by yourself.
Yeah.
So
I also feel like there's a religious part to it too. Not well, maybe it's religious. Like, you know how marriage is something. Well, this is weird because within the Black community, at least how it looks, they're very like religious people.
Yeah.
But yet at the same time, marriage is not the thing that's passed on, but the judgment is, and like the following the Bible and making sure you follow Jesus and you love Jesus, or maybe even getting baptized. Everything is passed on except for the need to get married.
Yeah, in some regards.
In some regards.
I think it depends how instilled you are. Because if you as a person are really instilled and like not just like I go sometimes or whatever, if you really believe or you're really indoctrinated, you're gonna it's like one of those things where I want to find someone who thinks like me,
and you'll likely find someone within the church
there. And you'll probably get married younger. But this could also lead to those higher divorce rates when you get married so young,
and also get married for reasons that are outside of yourself in a changing environment. Like it's not to say that God hasn't helped you guys through it, but it's just the reality that your foundation being God is great, but the supports being something that you don't necessarily relate to, which is things that are maybe in the Bible itself or within the accepted norms of like Christian relationship or a religious relationship, may not resonate with you anymore. So
yeah, once you get past 30 and you're really trying
to figure out yourselves, then it doesn't necessarily work anymore. But yeah, I just feel like I would like to see more Black couples get married. I don't know. I feel like I'm mixed. Like I would like to see more Black couples get married because I think I'm accustomed to seeing marriage as like something that is good for a community. And then also because statistically we know marriage is good for people, just in terms of like longevity and in terms of mindset and mentality. I would love to see more Black people get married only because I see that there are so many benefits to marriage that maybe as a Black community we don't pay attention to. I don't think anyone's really stressing the benefits of marriage anyways.
I think as a whole no one's really stressing.
No one stresses that.
Any
and
benefits
because
of marriage.
we fall back on the principle that marriage is meant to be a certain structure where a man takes care of the household, and we kind of fall back on a biblical structure of marriage that doesn't necessarily take into consideration how people feel about relationships or how they want to be in a relationship. Because it may not be to everyone's benefit for it to be a situation that is the traditional form of marriage. Like it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a breadwinner situation. And I think because people are still like conditioned to believe marriage is about the benefits that a woman gains from a man having access to wealth and like being able to take care of her in safety. I almost feel like marriage can't be attained because your idea is based on a version of living that will never actually exist anymore.
Yeah, it's not where we are currently. It's like something that hasn't updated along with the times. Everything else updates.
Yeah.
But the idea of what marriage is, what marriage surrounds, it hasn't been updated in our minds yet or in society's mind. Only now are people starting to like have weddings the way they want to versus the traditional same old wedding rituals that you don't even know where they come from anymore.
Rituals without consciousness.
Yeah. So, I mean, just going into today's days, we have to learn that it's okay to update things. It's okay for things to change. It's okay for things to become your own.
So do you think marriage is still something you can strive for in today's age without there being that tradition of benefits?
I think you have to have your real reason. You got to figure out what your reason is
Mm,
to be married or to want to be married.
yeah.
Like, I don't even think it should be about benefiting, like
True.
individually benefiting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like collectively, yeah, you're finding a partner that you can build with, you can grow with, you can learn from, you could become a
Yeah.
better human with.
True.
But it shouldn't be focused on like, okay, now my life's gonna be better because I get to take your money. You're gonna cook for me. You're gonna do
Yeah.
this for. You're gonna wash all my clothes. Like that. That shouldn't be what I'm looking forward to.
True. So then
Like,
what do you look forward to?
like I said, learning from somebody,
True.
laughing with somebody.
This is, you know what? So the next question that we were going to talk about that I'm not really sure was what are the benefits for a man or a woman in a relationship? And I think these conversations, once you say for a man or for a woman,
Right.
automatically it's going into the tradition
Yeah.
and the idea of what marriage is
Yeah.
versus what are the benefits for people in a relationship, in a marriage.
That actually might be a better because, as we all know, it's not just man and man getting married or woman and woman getting married. It's so you can't just stick to those traditional ideas of who benefits out of what.
Yeah.
So it's really just understanding, yeah, for people.
I actually really like that you said learning, like learning from each other.
Yeah.
Like it's like a, in a weird way, it's like you have, not in a weird way. So you're married and so you get the benefit of learning from someone who becomes your best friend.
Yeah.
But you also get the benefit of having sex with your best friend. It's like a weird, it's like weird sounding, but it's really like, well, that really is.
That's literally
your
what it is.
relationship.
Yeah.
But you also get to have romance with this person who you really deeply connect with.
Yeah.
And like you really get to enjoy life together.
You get to encompass everything
Yeah.
about being with another person.
And also you get to lean on each other like in a very deep way through difficulties.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can go through points where you guys are the sore spot in the relationship. Like you could be the sore for the relationship as a whole, or I could be a sore. And then now I have to figure out how to get you out of that position. So it's almost like a forever teammate that I haven't birthed.
Yeah. So in situations where it's like, okay, we're deciding to work together in this and then do this cohesiveness.
Do this thing called life together. I think that's a big part of it too.
And just, because either way, like you're going to have to do your life with or without me. You're going to have your life.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to have my life. But this is a choice where it's like, nah, okay, we're going to become like symbiotes. Two pieces coming together and be like, we're going to do this life together. And just see what happens. Yeah. Because it's like with anything, there's no plan, there's no laid out instruction manual, there's no guarantee to it. So we're here trying a thing and choosing to try a thing every day.
It goes back to that choosing to do things together every day, or choosing to be,
which helps you stay intentional
beside each other on the journey,
because it's so easy to get caught up in just like the daily events of life, especially when you're on your own. You can definitely feel like, okay, just going through the motions of life. But having to have a partner, you have to choose to be with this person. You can fall into routine, but then you get mundane and it doesn't feel like you're really living life. So you have to figure out, okay, what can we change? What are we choosing to do?
That's true.
Right.
And I just have this like visual of like a side by side walk together. Yeah. Like it is a really long path and you're side by side. And on that path, you will go on the side and do some work because that's what you want to do. But you're going to come back on the path, or the person who's on the path with you can actually see you doing that work and like be like, yeah, good job. Here, let me come over with you. So it's almost like it's a nice path to just be on together. Like when I think of marriage, it's beneficial to be joined with somebody on a long journey, especially where life is so long or it's so short. And even if it's short, if you get the chance to get married, you really get to enjoy maybe the briefness with someone who's very special.
Right.
Or if it's really long, you get to enjoy the super long walk with like this person who's so special.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes me tear up.
So, no.
Yeah. It's just, I guess it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing to think about.
It can be. Yeah.
And I think this also why it's so important that you marry people. You marry your person who's equally yoked.
Right.
That you marry the person who really aligns.
Yeah.
And it's not always going to be easy. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't end. It just means like you choose to do this until you decide something else.
You keep trying, man.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I go back to like no matter what, you're gonna live the life. Like you're gonna live life, and in life will be hard. Mm-hmm. What you can do, leave yourself
for reals,
right? You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna work on it. You're gonna try new things. You're gonna all the things you can do by yourself to kind of make life better. You not get to do with somebody else.
Yeah, I like that you said that. You really, when life gets hard, like you can't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
And like when life gets hard in a marriage and the relationship's hard, you don't give up on the person.
No.
Like I almost feel like, generally speaking, as a new couple, as a new married couple, but as someone who's as we've been in a relationship for so long,
yeah,
it's like the positives really outweigh the negatives.
They do.
Like significantly.
Like you got to remember that because it's easy to pay attention to the negative portions.
Yeah.
And make that a focus or, like you said, a sore spot for the whole thing.
True.
When they're so minuscule in comparison to the positive aspects of it. And it's more important to shine a light on those positive sides, those positive things, the many, 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 many positive things that happen.
And it's weird because it's just life. Like, as we say this, I'm like, wow, marriage is really just an alignment of life, but just with a partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. I thought about this the other day too, because I think it was something that like may have come up that you did. Like something like, I think you peed on the seat. Yes. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I went and sat down. And when I got up, I was like, why is my leg sticky? And I was so like, but I was like sleepy. Like I was so like, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to tell Sheldon about this in the morning. I was just frustrated.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, as I was going back to sleep, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, oh, like, cause I'm just like, this is so gross.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this really a big deal? Like, next time I will just look. Like, it just, at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's a frustrating thing, but I feel like it doesn't need to be that big and because think of think
of all the other times that I've peed. How many times have I really peed on the seat? Compared
so I'm like, I don't think it's worth the time.
It's not.
Yeah.
But thanks for letting me know.
I know. I'll
try to.
But it's just because I remember consciously making the decision, like, it's okay to let this go.
Yeah.
Like, I remember consciously saying that to myself.
Yeah.
And knowing, like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, it's a big deal in that moment.
Of course.
But it's not really requiring that much attention.
Bro, it's like stepping on a toy.
Yeah. Right? And it's also like, you probably, like, I also was like, probably went to sleep really late.
Yeah.
You know, like, or you were already sleeping or something, you know? So I was just like, okay, whatever. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's a long enough discussion about marriage. So from our end, I do encourage you to get married.
Is that where we started? Mm-hmm. Encouraging people? Yes.
From my end, I encourage people to find partners that make sense for you.
Big facts. Also, don't give up on finding a partner.
Yeah.
As much as people say that the dating pool is whatever, polluted, that's not everybody. Mm-hmm. And if it's not working here, go somewhere else.
Yo, there's men all over the world. There's women all over the world.
It's a very
There's non-binary people all over the world. There's people all over the world. You can find them.
And find your person.
You just never know.
We just happen to live in one area with a couple million people, but there's billions of people on Earth.
But even more so, like, get out of your head about getting into relationships.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not out of your head, but get out of your stories.
Right.
And the ideas other people put out about what your relationship's supposed to look like, unless it's just straight up toxic. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, get out of your head because you can actually give love a chance.
You should.
Yes.
Which is important because love wins.
Every day. All right. So we're moving on to completely random thoughts and questions. This is crazy. Okay. What are the reasons you wouldn't marry outside of your race? I'm going to flip it after.
Okay. What are the reasons?
You wouldn't.
Because I'm not allowed.
Okay.
No.
All right, so go ahead. Do your thing.
Let's see. Why
if you were single.
If I was single. Back when I was single.
Back when you were single. We've talked about this before, so we both know like it's not it's not our ideal.
I want to flip it, but I'll wait to flip it after.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. What do you mean?
No, because okay, so why wouldn't I? One.
You don't have a lot of reasons. It seems like.
Yeah, I love people. Love all shapes and sizes. Colors and creeds.
Why would you not?
Why would I not marry outside of my race?
Yeah, so why would you marry within your race?
Why would you make it such an odd question?
Okay, why would you get married within your race? Why would you stay with a black person?
Because I love black people.
Okay. Hey, it's Black History Month. Let it all hang.
No, it's true. Black women are amazing.
Yes.
Radiant.
We are fabulous.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Just amazing human beings, and they feel like home. So
I agree with all those points about black men as well.
Yeah.
Black women, but also I agree with that for black men. Yeah. Also just like I know you don't necessarily align with people culturally just by race because there's so many subcultures.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's certain things we just understand.
Yeah.
Like just completely understand about each other. Yeah, a real experience that like ties us in. And I also feel like I can't say I'm lucky because I have you, but I think there's a respect to my struggle.
Yeah.
And there's also respect to my triumphs.
Yeah.
And like a real like understanding of how big of a deal it is to overcome certain things, even though for maybe somebody else it would be like, yeah. And like, I think there's a high respect level with that sort of thing.
You know, also there's no like, I'm feeling like racial bias. There's a level of like,
nope.
Of like, there's no, I don't have to worry about your parents worrying what race I am and what my.
Yeah, I don't have to question
like that
and whether I'm being accepted.
Yeah. For my color of my skin. Like, I don't have to even think about that.
It's true.
So,
thank God.
Yeah. So I'm like, that part of it's I guess nice. Something you don't really even think about while you're together. It's because it just whatever. But yeah, I don't have to worry about that. But I feel like I would have to. That would be a thought of my mind.
It's
every
true.
time we went to a family gathering or all those kind of things.
You know what's funny? I also think about like I feel like when for me staying within my race is also about like us forming like this like a turtle shell almost. So like we're strength together. We're going to experience a lot of the same things and we're going to go through it together so that we can support each other and be each other's rock in many ways.
Right.
Whereas like I feel like if I was dating somebody outside, they could easily just be like, oh, that's your experience, not really mine.
Yeah.
Even though they might sympathize, they can't. Yeah. So I feel like they can. Yeah, like we just we're the shell.
Yeah.
We form a shell together being from similar backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that. Well, not I like that. That is the what's the word? The strength or the protection, the protective layer. Right. It's not about you protecting me. It's about us together being the protection for our relationship and for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're turtles together.
I knew it. I told you.
Yeah. Okay, so then why, if you were forced to come up with reasons, why would you marry outside of your race?
Um, I would have to be outside of no. I have to be outside of. I don't know. I have to be in a situation where I found somebody who I just happen to connect with,
Yeah, so what would be the
and
reason you Oh,
would
okay, I guess that
yeah,
is
like
yeah,
say you're in a
valid.
situation where you find somebody who you're maybe in school or you're outside of your like normal situation where it's like okay you're talking to people, you're
You
meeting
just
people,
vibe.
you vibe, you connect, and then it goes back to making a choice where it's like okay, I understand this is not going to be easy.
Mhm.
There's going to be a lot of adversities. There's going to be not maybe not even a lot, but there's going to be situations that come up against us, and it has to be something where you choose to like all right, in this life I will choose to do this.
Yeah.
um and that could be just for dating and just for you to try to experiment with life to
Mhm.
see what that would be like.
True. Exposure to a completely different
Yeah, like say
culture
it's like
or value system
yeah,
potentially.
because you'll never understand even the perspective of somebody who chooses to do that if you've never really done it. So just the experiment of like, okay, let's go ahead and try this thing, see how it works, and then you could have stories and
Share those
share those
stories.
stories and explanations and viewpoints and stuff.
You have a long reason for this. Sounds like someone is no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't a reason I would I guess it's just proximity.
Yeah.
That's all it because if I have choice,
And it's
then
also it depends on the type of person you are. If you as a person you fall outside of the norms of your own culture, like if
or
you
of
just
the people around you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you don't feel like you align with anybody within your just culture based, maybe not relationship based or anything, but
So
just
it's
culture
not better
based.
to travel and figure out if there could be someone that aligns with you?
You could, but if you don't choose to, if you choose to just stay
Mm,
within, or if you're forced to
then
stay
it's
within this,
yeah, okay,
then
okay. I see what you're
yeah.
saying there. Yeah, I guess.
But if you really like, if you have those willingness to like find somebody who is like you, then
Then
you can go out and find that,
yeah, I
or just
guess
wait.
that's I guess another point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really have much other
no, I got it. You pro black,
just
you pro,
no,
you
I
black, you
just
black, you
have
black.
never considered yeah,
Fair.
yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I does. Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah, I
It's
died.
okay. We understand.
All right, cool. So let's move on to the next. All right, so our favorite segment sometimes.
It's mine, definitely.
It's one of mine too.
Yeah.
Because this is just us.
Gets me to think differently.
All right, so we're gonna get you to think differently right now.
Think with us.
Okay, so you guys all know what social constructs are.
Yes,
Do I
they're
need
constructs
to?
that have been socially constructed.
Okay, things that we agree upon as a
That's
society.
what I said.
You're right. To live by.
Yes.
All right, or to believe in
Yes.
and reinforce. Okay, so if this world
Yep.
is just a simulation, if
It
it was a
is.
simulation,
It is a simulation.
and you could change a social construct, what would it be and how would you change it?
War. I would change war.
Okay.
Yeah. I would.
What would you change about it?
That wouldn't be the way we solve our conflicts.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
just so
valid.
stupid.
Yep.
Let's kill each other.
Yep.
Just to figure out
See
who
how
should
much.
live here, or
See how many of you die.
yeah, like
What?
that's the stupidest thing. As humans, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I hear
Let's go
that.
around killing each other because I don't like you. I don't believe what you believe.
So war is a social construct more than it is nature?
Yeah.
Or are you thinking the method of war?
I think, yeah, the method of war.
The
I guess
method.
the method, yeah. If war was done in a different manner where it's like, okay, we're gonna
play chess.
we're gonna be
That's
adults.
how we solve
We're gonna be
this.
adults about this. Like, let's reason properly.
Yeah.
Right?
Could you imagine? That'd be a beautiful thing.
What?
We gotta play chess. So the masters of the country are avid chess players,
Yeah.
like or Monopoly players.
Like, think about it. You're they always tell us like as children how to solve your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not you shouldn't be fighting
No.
to solve you. Like that's the thing
This
instilling
is
you.
why I say,
right?
as much as people want to be like, oh, the kids are doing this, the kids are doing that,
Nah.
adults don't show much better.
They're not showing it all. And on the highest levels of being an adult or being in charge, stupid. They show you that, and this is okay. This is accepted. We're like, yeah, go ahead, bomb, kill, maim, destroy, celebrate that, heroes, all that nonsense. But as children, they're like, no, use your words. Use your words to solve your problems.
Like, come on.
You shouldn't be hitting him, Tommy. Make it make sense to me.
Yeah, please. No, I agree with you.
You can't teach me one thing and then show me another right in the same place. That don't make sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
And if I was a child, I wish I could go back and just somebody tell me not to hit him. I'm like,
no.
What about everyone else?
What about you guys at war?
Why are we going to war for?
Well, what could they really say?
What are you going to tell me? Yeah.
I mean, they could be like, well, that's different.
How is it different?
They're going to always say it's different.
They're going to say it's different.
But they're going to have to.
If I had the mind, I would say, explain to me how it's different.
Yeah.
I want what he has. So I'm going to go fight him and take it. Isn't that what I'm being shown?
Right? All right. Can't argue with you there.
You know? So I'm like, how is it different? Make it make sense to me, please. So that social society construct,
methods of war,
the methods of war would have to change for me.
I agree with that.
We have disagreements or arguments or we'd have to figure it out, and we actually, put human lives above everything else. We'd want people to live and survive and be bountiful and have full lives. That's the things we'd aim for.
Well, before I say that, it's interesting because this should be common sense for me, but I just realized, okay, so social constructs, because they're so agreed upon for such a long time and reinforced in many ways, now I understand why people are in such uproar around gender, because it's just something that we've reinforced for so long. Yeah. It's something very difficult for people to change their mind on, and we can't name another social construct that has ever changed in our time.
Yeah.
Is there another social construct that we could say has changed?
Women get to vote.
No, but
they have rights.
For sure.
They're
but
not just property.
In a sense, but a breakdown of the construct.
Black people get to be free.
But that's not a breakdown. The construct's still there.
Yeah, you're right. But
I think with gender, the construct is almost becoming eliminated.
Yeah, in the eyes of some.
No, but I'm not saying it's eliminated, but in a sense, that's where people feel it's going.
I don't think it's getting eliminated. Gender itself.
No, but that's where people feel it's going. No, the elimination of gender.
I don't think so.
And I think that's where some people are trying to move it to, eliminate the gender thing.
That would be, in my mind, that would be a smarter way of going about things instead of making more.
Yeah, because then you could just fall back on biology.
Yeah.
As opposed to...
if gender really was an issue, then we don't... What do we need gender for?
That's true. So would it really matter? And if you really want to ask a question, then you just ask them the biology and you move on. And people will have their answer for you.
Or if you want to have a child, okay, who can I biologically have a child with?
Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah, that way you're not arguing over anything else. You don't need to argue over anything else.
But there's so much instilled with gender. Gender roles.
Yeah.
A lot of society is built on that.
Is built on gender. I was going to ask if you can have an identity without gender.
Could I just be a person?
Yeah.
Just a good person? No, or am I a good man?
This is it. How do you identify yourself
without gender? Are you still outside of your gender? Who are you?
Who are you? How are you defining yourself?
Yeah.
Because I thought about it based on some comment I seen on some page, which was just about... I can't remember exactly what it said, but pretty much it had something to do with maybe a trans person who didn't disclose they were trans till the third date. And people were upset in the comments. And one person said, hear me out. Yeah, hear me out. It's no different than someone not disclosing they have like an STI or kids or a criminal or like other different things that would be like a slight against you.
Yeah.
Um
Actually, it wouldn't be a slight. It's more of a maybe that's yeah, would be a slight, but it's like a preference. Like, say I didn't want to date
yeah.
people with kids, and we're going on dates, and I'm getting to know you. I'm getting to like
Well,
you as a person,
yeah.
and then, but it's like, how are you like? What am I supposed to do?
It would then be a preference then, no?
It's a preference thing. It's like, okay,
Interesting.
then I find out, okay, hey, you have kids, and then I'm like, I really didn't like people with kids, but that might change your whole mind about it.
Yeah,
Because
but
not like you don't
the
like the
final point they
person.
made was people don't get killed for those other things.
That's true.
And that was one of the reasons you may not disclose it in the beginning,
Yeah.
or you know, but I
Yeah.
feel like I think that's the difficulty there
Yeah.
is like people do get killed for that.
Unfortunately.
But I'm wondering, would it be worse it might be better to disclose later, to not disclose later. I don't know. I'm not in that, like, I can't speak from that perspective because I don't know. So it's just hard to say because you don't know if it'll be worse disclosing later or sooner.
Yeah.
But I do think that if it is like, if we allow it to fall back to a preference situation, and if we were in a world where we could take away the prospect of killing, then it would be better to I just don't have an interest in these things. Yeah. But also, like, I don't think it's right for any man who's not interested in that to be even close to that world. If you're really not interested to the point where you hate these people, like, you should not be on a grinder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You should not be there.
That's not really making sense.
Whereas, like, I mean, I guess for someone who's trans might put themselves on like a regular site and be able to still connect with anyone. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this works.
It would be nice if people didn't take such a negative view, like you said, the aspect of killing around, because then people would feel more comfortable. Like, hey, this is who I am.
Literally,
and I don't have to worry about
remove that.
I don't have to worry about the stigma. I don't have to worry about people trying to kill me or people being upset because I am who I am. Right? That way, people would get to know people for who they like.
Listen, like if we didn't have to worry about that.
If my profile said, "Hey, I eat fish. I like to work out. I have a dog. I do this,"
and you had to worry about people attacking you because you have a dog.
Yeah,
then,
like,
oh my you're gosh, probably gonna like not disclose that you have a dog early. Yeah. I feel like there's. Yeah, if we can just remove that,
then people would be allowed to just be people,
easier. Yeah,
and then there wouldn't be as much worry about it if we would just stop.
Because we should not
hating people for no reason.
No, legit.
It's very simple.
It's just it's very simple.
The reason people don't get to be who they are is because there's hate on the opposite side of that.
Facts. That is a fantastic statement.
You don't hate people, then people get to love.
People love, and not only that, they get to move forward.
That's it.
And I don't have to be in full agreement with you. I'm able to learn to love you as a brother or a sister, as a neighbor, and move on.
That's it. Like, I don't need to, I don't have to be in a relationship if that's not my preference. That's not what I choose.
Us back from being able to just love each other. Anyways, the construct I would change. I was thinking about this one. I'm like, I would make everyone the same race.
The same, like one race.
Yeah.
Fair. Like
I know we could easily be like
we're the human race.
Yeah, we're the human race, and so we're all the same.
So okay. Would we be the same? Not the same color. We take out this.
We're all purple.
No. What if you just took out the idea of like color divides us? Because right now, color divides us, and where we are in the world divides us. And a lot of these things are just imaginary borders. Like where we are in the world is just an imaginary border.
Yeah.
There's no lines that divide one country from another.
Yeah, and borders are imaginary. Yes.
It's all made up.
Literally.
We're all on the same landmass. On this rock,
then it would probably make more sense for me to get rid of borders.
Yeah, well, not necessarily borders, like,
no,
but understand it doesn't matter where you are because you're all we're all here on the same thing. We're all of the same species. That should be enough.
Yes and no, because there's cats and there's dogs.
Yeah, but you're not going to see cats mate with dogs. Doesn't matter. Like cats can mate with cats. All kinds of cats will mate with cats. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
which cat will mate with cat. But you're not going to see a cat and a dog mate together and create a cat dog.
A dog?
Yeah.
A dog. No, I hear that. So yeah, I would make one race.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean you can't have different cultural experiences.
Yeah.
Which we all learn from.
Like there's fish,
but there's
all
no
over the world,
addition of negativity due to the skin tone. Like there's a recognition we are all one in a sense. Like we're all the same based on like our race. We're all the same.
And it sucks that it's the idea that it would take aliens
to reunite
for humans to unite, because we have to have like a common
enemy. So you know what? And I think foundationally that is the biggest problem our society and humanity has, is the idea of enemies.
Yeah.
Because everything has been
like, as a country, if we have a common enemy,
unite us,
all of a sudden we're together to fight this another country or whatever.
Like what? Hatred?
Even in competition. Like,
you know what's interesting? It's kind of backwards, because it almost seems like love is supposed to be the uniting force, but I think our society has allowed hatred to be the uniting force.
That is big facts. That is big facts.
What is wrong with us?
We have chosen hate to unite us.
What is wrong with us?
It doesn't matter what happens. Like, say for example, earlier when they're doing like the protests, the Black Lives Matter protests, we had to unite because someone hated us enough to kill us for no reason. Yeah. And not even just one person, but a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Right? And it wasn't because they did it because of any other reason other than hate. Right? And prejudice.
So our ops why we had us?
To well, that's what had to unite us.
Yeah, and that's not right, because at the same time, and then you heard people saying like, oh, we should unite like this against gun violence, and we should unite like this. And it's like, yeah, absolutely. But it shouldn't be because it's just honestly, weird because we made a common enemy out of the, white people hating black people. Yeah. When the common enemy is destruction. If we really want to talk about a common enemy, and we need that, it's the destruction of love at the end of the day, because that is something that is destroying all communities. Yeah. We share in common. Yeah. If we want to talk about common enemies, then the powers that exist probably would be the top of the list in that case. But really, at the end of the day, we should not require a common enemy for us to work together.
That shouldn't be the basis of us working together.
Oh my gosh. Why did we get here? Where's the love?
Love-filled purpose. Why we choose to do anything.
Oh, no. Because then we do it with that's just not okay.
Less selfishness involved. We do it with less ego involved. We do it with less, everything. We choose to do this out of love.
So sad, yo.
It can be.
You know how much things could be eradicated just by love?
The world could change.
The world could change. People could be happy. Place. People can be themselves in every form. Rachel Dolezal. No, I'm kidding.
She could be black.
Being dumb. But yeah, it's just it's wild. But anyways, those are some great discussions we had today. Yes. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah.
As usual.
As we move from uphill to downhill to the corners to the edges.
What did you learn from today?
What did I learn from today? Well, I learned.
Nice.
Sorry, guys. Today I learned that it kind of saddens me, the state of black marriages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. What about you?
Me? That we need to be united in love. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else was the other thing?
Common enemies?
Yeah, common enemies.
Oh, marrying outside your race?
No, war is stupid.
Yeah, facts. He's absolutely correct in that statement.
Yeah, we need to practice what we preach and stop being so what's the word?
Mean.
No.
Hateful.
No. It's a word when you say one thing but you do another.
Hypocrite.
We need to stop being hypocritical. All right. If you're gonna tell kids that you need to use your words, not your hands to fight to solve problems, let's practice the same thing we're preaching.
Facts.
Simple as that.
Final thoughts from Sheldon.
Thank you.
You got today's final thoughts. We should do that.
Yep.
A final thoughts wrap up.
That's it.
And just have a stack of papers and tap it on the desk.
We're done.
But yeah.
All right. Well, have a great night.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode
Peace,
of
love,
Mel
and
Shel
Mel Shel
Tings.
talking about Tings.
Yeah, boy.